All right. All right. Well, welcome everyone. Happy Wednesday for women visionaries in transition who want to escape hustle culture and achieve more and basically have more fun in the process. I am the change guide for growth that helps you support and stabilize yourself through times of change. So we are jumping on for my Visionaries in Transition Facebook series, where I interview the amazing and inspiring impact makers in my network to discuss the transitions that have shaped their lives, our lives, and businesses. So if you are joining us, please remember to like, comment, and share, subscribe if you're on YouTube, and let us know that you're here. So today I am talking to Amanda Stohl, who is a wonderful insurance agent. I'm so glad to have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you. It's wonderful to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, totally. Totally. So let's dive on in. Tell me your backstory. Okay. How did you get to where you are today?
Well, I had actually worked in property management for 6 years, and I just kind of accidentally tumbled into insurance. I was kind of done with that industry, and I was like, I got to find something else. What am I qualified to do? I'm qualified to work in offices. And Farmers Insurance had an advertisement for somebody as a clerical person in their district office. So I came in and I talked to this guy, Rusty, for like 2 hours about how to become my own agent. And at the time, I was like, I don't think you understand how poor or young I am. Mm-hmm. Like, I just need a job. And so he passed on my resume to an agent in Puyallup, and I ended up working for him for 4 years and learned that I actually really like insurance, which was a surprise because I'm a very creative person. I think in color and spectrum like all the time. And so to parlay that into an industry where there are contracts and there are rules and things are a certain way, like it didn't make a lot of sense on the surface, but for whatever reason, it's very satisfying for me.
I love that. You wouldn't think that insurance and creativity would gel well together.
You wouldn't. But when it comes to building a business, there's so many ways to build a business that creativity actually helps. It helps you think outside of the box. So when you're looking for ways to take good care of your clients, or you're looking for good ways to find new clients, creativity helps you think of things in a non-standard way.
I love that. I mean, I really do believe we're moving more towards a creative supporting economy. And people are like, well, I'm not creative. I don't do like art or paint or anything like that. And I'm like, dude, there's like YouTube videos of people just showing what they eat throughout the day. Like that is a creative endeavor just in itself. Like creativity is such a broad umbrella. Like so many things can fall under it.
Agreed.
Cool. Well, what kind of transitions shaped your journey, either in life or business?
Well, here's a part where I'm going to give a little bit of an unsolicited plug to an organization in Seattle. A friend of mine recommended that I take part in, oh my gosh, I had the word, forum? Oh my gosh. I had it in my head and then it just ran away. Oh my goodness, I'll have to come back to it. So there is a group in Seattle that does a 3-day kind of like reprogramming seminar. Like I'm not gonna like pretend it's not a self-help thing. It is a self-help thing, but it really helps you kind of break down your thought patterns and your limiting ways of thinking, and gets you thinking about what you could do. Like if you didn't have those ways that you limit yourself, what could you do without it? Oh, here we go. Landmark Forum. I knew it was going to come in there somewhere.
I was going to say, it wasn't Landmark because I hear a lot about them.
Yes. No, they're wonderful. And for anybody who feels stuck, I always recommend do the Landmark Forum. It does cost a bit of money, but I think that what you get out of it, the gains, more than pay for the class itself. But I left that initial seminar going, why can't I be an agent? Why don't I deserve this for myself? Why do I deserve to be stuck having somebody else tell me how much I'm worth? So that really began the process of me looking into what it would be for me to be an agent. And when I was ready, all of the dominoes just fell and it just happened.
I mean, that's how it happens, right? Divine timing. Like,
Yes.
I've always loved the definition of luck as when preparation meets opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to prepare yourself. You don't really know what you're preparing yourself for, really, a lot of the time, but there is some preparation aspect to it. And then the opportunity arrives, and then that's where luck is born.
Yeah. Well, and it was really up to me when I was ready, because having that interview with that guy Rusty in the farmers district office 4 years prior, I could have taken advantage of that responsibility. I could have taken advantage of that moment and made it happen, but I wasn't ready. Yeah. I needed to understand that I was worthy of the opportunity.
Totally. Oh, man, we were talking about worthiness in the workshop yesterday with Jennifer and Kalua, because your innate sense of worthiness determines so much, like whether you're going to be able to even identify opportunities that fall into your lap. Like, people are often blind to them sometimes.
Yes. We often talk about entitlement as, another 4-letter word, but it has a good side too. If you feel entitled to good things in your life, you behave in accordance with you deserving good things in your life.
Totally. People think of entitled as such like a nasty word sometimes, but it's like, no, you just think that you deserve it.
Yes.
Like, whatever that looks like for you. And yeah, people can take that to like the toxic end of the spectrum, but there's such a liminal space in between.
Yes.
Of like how your semantic definition of it,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that. So what experiences or lessons did you have along the way?
Oh, I think the process of becoming a business owner has really hammered home that we are limited by what we can fathom. Because it was my feelings of unworthiness that kept me from becoming an agent in 2008. It's been my own time management skills, my own creativity. It's been those things that keep me limited. Whenever I look back and think, I had a goal, why didn't I reach my goal? And I really mark out like where that breakdown happened. It's because of me. And that's the hardest part about being a business owner and being in charge of your own future, is that when you're pointing fingers, you've only got one direction to point that finger.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love that. I mean, time management is self-leadership, which stems from your sense of worthiness. Like, you have to believe that you're worthy of leading yourself in the first place, in order to then manage yourself, manage your time, manage your energy, whatever you need to manage along the way.
Absolutely. And I 100% believe that my job is not my life. My job facilitates my life. So all of my goals are centered around how I can use this job in this career that I happen to love to make the rest of my life be how I want it to be, what that vision of satisfaction looks like. So that's the goal. Like that's the starting point of my goal setting. Like, what do I want? And then I work back from there. And it's me holding myself accountable, and also me telling me I deserve to have this goal. So I'm going to do what it takes to get to that place.
Yeah. I mean, people always ask me how you plan out like long-term strategy, and you just nailed it on the head with like, you need to have the goal and then you reverse engineer it. Like, what are the pieces to that goal that need to happen? Like, I always use the weight loss one because that's an easy one for everyone to like understand. Like, if you're looking to lose 40 pounds, you can't just like do that in a month.
No.
You're gonna have to.
You could, but there's a big consequence for it, and you don't want the consequence.
Right. If you get a tapeworm, it might be possible.
Right.
But you have to like break that down as like, how many pounds is that per week over what period of time? Exactly. And then you can start being like, all right, so in week 1, I'm going to focus on 2 pounds. And week 2, I'm still going to focus on 2 pounds. And like, it's that self accountability along the way, and reminding yourself like, this is the overarching goal that I'm working towards, but it's these little steps along the way that contribute to that goal.
Yeah, and dialogue is big too. So using your example of weight loss, the dialogue that you have with yourself, instead of changing it from, I'm fat, I need to lose weight, to I'm healthy and I feed my body. It's a very different way of setting up the framework in your head. So kind of using that example and, co-opting it for my business, it's not I'm poor and I need money. It's I'm successful and I'm profitable and I am working towards this vision of profitability.
Totally. Self-talk is just so instrumental. Like you have to get control of your self-talk. And like, yeah, there's going to be emotions and feelings that come up along the way, but it's how you respond to the things that come up along the way and how you talk yourself through those things that come up that makes such a huge difference.
Absolutely. And I have found that just in the moments where I felt profitable, I felt like I was doing well in my job, I was. I had more sales. I had more people talking to me about their insurance. I had more current clients who cross-sold. It's, you can call it spirituality if you want, if it's just you manifesting the ideas in your head, but that mindset is everything.
Yeah. And it astounds me how much spirituality and brain science coincide. Like there have been psychological studies done on this phenomenon. Like if you are in a luck-minded mindset, if you think you are profitable, if you think you are lucky, if you think you are benefiting from a given situation, then you are literally going to see more opportunities in front of you than if you felt unlucky, if you felt unprofitable, if you felt bad in that negative mindset. Like it's astounding.
Yes. Well, and to use a anecdotal for that, I did recruiting and training at the district office for a short while, and I had a conversation with my manager. He was like, I don't understand why women don't pursue being agents more, because statistically they are more successful than men. So I don't know why they don't do it. And I had to have a very real conversation with him about the responsibilities that women take on in their life, and that they have to be pragmatic, because if they don't bring food home to children, if they don't pay the rent on the apartment, there are huge consequences if they don't succeed. So there are a lot of limiting thought processes that just come with being a woman with responsibilities.
Yeah, totally. And it's always a choice too at the end of the day. Like you choose whether you want to have a commute or not. You choose what your working hours are, like how you filter through job opportunities or filter through business opportunities. Like it might be a choice between a rock and a hard place sometimes, but there's still an element of choice there.
Absolutely.
And then we choose how to respond to the external factors that we have no control over either. Like, the economy as a whole. Like there's very little that we can do in our sphere of influence. If the stock market crashes, like that's not our fault. We can't point the finger here.
Yes. The past year with the Washington State credit neutrality order has been chaos in the insurance world. And, I am limited by those external factors. There's only so much that I can do with those things happening, but understanding that boundary of what I'm capable on that end, I can then adjust my behaviors inside of it.
Totally. Like you choose your reaction to it, whatever it is.
Absolutely. And, my chosen reaction was to have regular conversations with my clients and just be like, hey, here's this informational video I'm sending out to everybody. Just, everything's going to change. We don't know when, why, or how yet, but it'll roll out. And then consistently reaching out to them with their renewals, just saying, hey, this is how this is affecting you specifically. Because I think that people want to be engaged and involved. They just don't really know it yet. So, and that's something that I've found with my own agency, is that my customers appreciate being involved in the changes that are happening, so that when they do have a price change, good or bad, they were kind of expecting it. It's when you get that bill for your insurance and it's $600 more year over year that you're just like, why? Because then they have to make choices based upon the parameters, and they don't have answers.
Yeah, I mean, choice is just vital throughout all of this, no matter what side you're on.
Yep.
So what kind of, sorry, didn't mean to.
So it's all linked together.
Yeah. Right. And what kind of tools or practices have you used along the way to support yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically?
So part of the process of me being a creative person is that those tools are always changing. I'm always editing and nipping and tucking and like, where is it working here? And where have I gotten lazy in this? And so it's always changing. One thing that I try to consistently do is I have a little altar in my house. I have a little prosperity altar, and I have a little dish with like change in it. And on Monday mornings, I grab all the change in my hands that I can, and I say out loud and think to myself, I have so much money that it overflows from my hands, so it can benefit myself and my community around me. And it's just that little kind of like weekly reset that like gets me thinking of my goal. And then I've got alarms on my phone. So I wear all hats in my business. So I have to do outreach and sales and marketing. I have to do customer service. I have to do taxes and accounting and bookkeeping. I have to do HR. I'm where the buck stops. I do all the things. So I found that alarms in my phone really help me to block out time. For me, even though I have a time block on my calendar, it can just sit there. And then before I know it, it's 3 p.m. Before I know it, it's 5. I just get locked in what I'm doing. But if I have an alarm on my phone that says, hey, lady, it's 4 o'clock. It's time for you to shift gears and do something else. That really helps. And then I also found that I was getting stuck in a rut. So just recently I talked to my district's support team and I said, hey guys, I am not meeting my goals the way I want to. I am not able to focus the way that I want to. I'm trying to do these things, but it's not maximizing my output. And just asking for help, we came up with a plan to have help. So we've got a member of the district staff who's going to come in and visit me once a week and just kind of say hi. So I'm not alone in the office all week. And then just kind of see how things have been going with my goal setting to help me with accountability. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with my processes for success, on top of, sleeping 8 hours and trying to drink enough water and trying to feed my body with food instead of like coping with sugar and stuff, Yeah.
Yeah. And I love how you have different layers of support systems too. Like you have the mindset support system with your altar, you have the time support system with your alarms, and then you have the community support system with your district help, your district support.
I need all of it.
We all do. We all do though. Like self-care or self-support doesn't stop at bubble baths.
Yes.
Like you can't just squeeze in a glass of wine and a bubble bath on Sunday night and think that you are taking care of yourself.
Absolutely. And, it's in regards to the note about community, like I think that there's a certain mindset of individualism that we've all kind of been hammered home with that keeps us from asking for help. But community is so vitally important. And if anybody has time to research or watch any of the videos from Dr. Gabor Mate, he is so knowledgeable about the importance of community and real true connection and vulnerability with people. And it stinks, to be honest, with the people around you about how you're not happy with what you're doing. But it's vital to be vulnerable like that so that they can actually help you.
Yeah. I mean, vulnerability is irresistible.
Yeah.
Like we all relate to it because we're messy, imperfect beings living in a messy, imperfect world. And this polished facade that shows up on social media so often, we don't relate to it because that's not the reality.
No. No, I would much prefer to give somebody a hug if they're having a terrible day. And I would much prefer to say I need a hug because I've had a terrible day, rather than trying to portray somebody I'm not.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, we're not perfect. We're not perfect in any shape.
Just doing the best I can. If I shower and feed myself and show up to work and do all the things I'm supposed to do in the day, like that's an I eat a cookie. That's an adult, gold star. Like I did the thing.
Yeah. This past weekend I vacuumed. I was like, yes, I'm an adult.
Yes.
I have clean floors.
I love myself so much. I took care of my environment. Yes.
Right. Exactly. I love it. So anything you want to add before we start wrapping up?
Just that life is a continuing journey and we always have a new vision of perfect every day.
Exactly. And that's what I loved about you saying that your support systems change over time, because it is a continual lifelong practice.
Yes.
Continual lifelong practice.
And how boring would life be if everything was exactly the same all the time?
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally. Exactly. All right. Well, these are powerful themes that we're talking about today, as always. And audience, I definitely encourage you to share your own thoughts and feelings and insights and stories with us as well. We'd love to know how transitions have impacted you in your own lives. And special thanks to Amanda for joining me today. It has been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful to see you today.
Yes, I'm glad we made it happen. So I am always looking for more guests if you guys are interested. I'm actually booked out to July at the moment. And so we can probably find you some slots in like mid to late summer if you're interested. I will send you the link. If you're interested in sharing your own perspectives, please reach out to me. I would be happy to chat with you all. And in the meantime, please comment, like, subscribe, and share. And check out Linktree/Liminal Clarity for all of my links. And then, Amanda, where can people find you?
At Farmers Agent / Amanda Stohl. Really, if you just Google search Amanda Stohl, you'll find me. I don't have a common name.
All right, easy peasy. I love it. As a Claire Jones, there are thousands of us out there, so it's a lot harder. All right.
Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, totally. And until next time, please remember that your authentic self is wonderful. It is extraordinary, and you owe it to yourself to create the elevated life that you know you are capable of. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye.